Good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show. My name is Leon Jones, and this afternoon's topic: education comes from all sources. Education comes from all sources. Now, what do I mean by all sources? Well, when it comes to education, since we live in this Eurocentric system, according to some employers, in order to get a job, we are required to have a college degree. Now, I want you to listen to me closely, because everybody cannot be a psychologist, a sociologist, a manager, an engineer, a scientist, a doctor, a lawyer, accountant, or any type of other field that requires a degree. But on the other hand, everybody can't have a CDL, which is a requirement to be a truck driver. Can't be an HVAC technician, a plumber, an electrician, a sheet metal specialist, a rigger, a boatswain's mate, and those what we call trades. Now, those two fields have been very divisive by the so-called social elites, because the social elites believe that if you don't have a high-powered education, you're less than they are, which isn't true. When it comes to education, a lot of it today is more or less indoctrination. You basically regurgitate what your professor gives you on a test. Does that make you educated? Absolutely not. But having that degree is a requirement, and it's a major requirement for certain types of professions. But does it make that person with a degree better than a person with no degree? Absolutely not. You see, when it comes to majoring in anything in school, it's based on your personality. There's some people who can do math. There's some people who can work with their hands. And what I'm getting to is that it takes all sorts of fields to make this country work. If we were all the same, nothing would get done. If we all had degrees, society would be saturated with degrees. If we all had trades, society would be saturated with everyone who has trades. But in this country, the problem with America is that we base everything off of some type of social status. I was always told coming up that you need to go and get a degree. Now, fortunately, I actually have degrees, and I have a CDL, and I'm working in HVAC as well. I have my 608 and 609 and my green awareness certifications. So I understand both sides of the house. But for you individuals who do not have degrees, you are not less educated than I am. You see, education comes from you as a person motivating yourself to understand certain subject matter. That means you have to go to the library and read a book. You have to look on the internet for different sources. And when it comes to being educated, it's not just getting a certificate, a degree, or a license. It's taking that information that you learn and you apply it to the real world in everyday life. And at the end of the day, you've really gone from education to wisdom. Because when it comes to the workforce, I would rather have somebody with experience rather than a degree. Why? Because I don't have to train anybody who has the experience. They're going to already come in and they're going to know what to do. But when we have a society that just takes sides between having degrees and trades and divides us, well, that puts us in the state of me versus you. You think what you have is better than I have. But guess what? Again, just like I mentioned earlier, you need technicians. But you need sociologists and psychologists and engineers and doctors and lawyers as well. You need HVAC service people. There is going to be something that is marketable. Now, when you go to school and study, whether it is a trade or something in school, you need to look at what's marketable. And this is where individuals might not understand the whole concept of education. Because when you are getting financial aid to go to school, that's because colleges are very high in their tuition. And at the end of the day, you're going to end up paying a lot of loans back. So when it comes to an ROI, return on investment, how much money are you willing to spend in school? What are you learning in school? So you have to look at a cost-benefit analysis when it comes to going to college. A lot of people don't do that. You have to see what is going to be marketable for a long haul. Now, it doesn't matter what you get your degree in, because I know engineers right now who do not have jobs, but I know some who are working as teachers. And I'm using that as an example because they have degrees and they're working in fields that don't pertain to their degrees. Remember, a degree is a minimum requirement to get the job. So if you got a degree in general studies, but you have an interest in something, you read up on that interest and you carry it forward. In other words, if you get a degree in individualized studies and you minor in management or psychology or even hotel restaurant management, that's what you want to do. Utilize that to your advantage. But you go to work in that particular field so you understand what that field is about. And you want to see if you like the field. Because I know me, I did different fields before I got a bachelor's degree. But at the end of the day, I understand that you need education in all fields. It is pertinent. But because I have a degree and you don't, it doesn't make me better. And the type of degree I have doesn't make me better. So I'm no better than anybody else, or no worse than anybody else. So why I'm pointing this out is because we have too many people who live in this society who put themselves above everybody else because they're at a certain status, educational wise. It doesn't make you any more intellectual. What you need out of any type of education is wisdom. And you only get wisdom with age because you've experienced a lot. The best education is on the block training out here in the streets. And no degree or trade will help you get that. You develop the skills because you see different people every day. But at the end of the day, education is only as good as the person utilizing it. Just remember that. So there is not one degree any better than another. And for people who don't have a degree, they can also be educated. They just have to take up something, be interested in it. In fact, if you go to the library and you want to learn about culture, you can do it for free. You don't have any debt. But education comes from all resources. You don't need a professor to teach you. In fact, when you take courses online, you teach yourself. There's no professor standing there in front of you. So when it comes to getting educated, the education depends on you. At the end of the day, it's not necessarily what you walk away with when it comes to a degree or a certification. It's how you market yourself in society. Because education is an ongoing process. It does not stop at school. You have to keep certifying yourself. And at the end of the day, You will find that if you do that, and only if you do that, plus utilize some experience, you will gain wisdom. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show for this afternoon, Thursday, September 6th, or it's Thursday, September 7th. Correction, Thursday, September 6th, 2018. And you can tune into the 401 Talk Zone radio show every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Guest calling number is 215-383-5785. If you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 401 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube so I can continue to give you quality information for educational purposes from a professional and mature perspective. Now again, on my channel, I don't debate, do controversial issues or emotional issues. That just depends on how you as the listener interprets the material. Some material can be rather sensitive, but it hits home. My channel is about teaching. It's very therapeutic. This is why I don't engage in drama or any type of beefing going on. What I do here is give you information from my own perspective because it's realistic, but it's positive. Because once you have that knowledge, you have that power. If you have a topic, a new YouTube channel, or business that you would like for me to discuss on YouTube or Blog Talk Radio, simply email me at lej6521@gmail.com. And if you have a comment, please leave your comment in the comment section under the video, but make sure that your comments are pithy. No bloviating, pettifogging, or filibustering if you wish to opine. Now that's it for this video. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful to each other, and have a wonderful and blessed afternoon.